Hello everyone and welcome to part 4 of my DVD collection update for the month of October and the year of 2012. I actually forgot a few DVDs. I'm going to show you 2 DVDs that I forgot and then we'll move straight to the VHS tape. So remember to watch 1, 2, 3, and now part 4 if you want to watch them in chronological order. So here are the few DVDs that I forgot. And they are, first we have Denzel Washington starring in a movie called Deja Vu. I saw this years ago. I really enjoyed it. I wish the ending, I remember, would have been a little different, but from what I remember, I really enjoyed it, and I haven't seen Deja Vu in a long time. Anyway, same guy who did this, I believe did Unstoppable, Taking of Pelham 1, 2, 3. It's the producer of Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Man's Chest, and he also directed a film called Enemy of the State. Anyways, Deja Vu, starring Denzel Washington. Another film that I got, starring Robin Williams, a good old classic, and Sally Field, a movie by the name of Miss Doubtfire. I've seen the ending of this, I've seen bits and pieces, I've seen some of the comedic bits of it, but not too much of it. Anyways, as you can see, loads of bonus features. Miss Doubtfire is just a cool, classic, family comedy type of film. Cool film. And now we're going to move straight to the, I think I'm going to do the VHS tapes first. Actually, let's do the video games first. We're going to do the recent video games, which is quite a few that I've picked up in the past month or so, for the month of October. First up is a 3DS game by the name of Resident Evil Revelations. This is, for my full opinion, this is the best 3D graphics I have seen yet for the 3DS. It beats Kid Icarus. It beats Super Mario, Zelda, Star Fox. If you ask me, my full opinion, the 3D detail that Resident Evil Revelations has is the best that the Nintendo 3DS has put on the market. Second best, I'm not for sure, probably Zelda, or Star Fox, but Kid Icarus 3D was decent, but I think that this one, it puts so much more effect on the creatures and, the zombie creatures, and it puts more effect on the rooms you're in. You can see all the little cracks, indentions in the walls and the landscape area. So I think this is the best 3D yet. Anyways, this is a great game. So definitely worth a pickup if you haven't bought it. Talking about Kid Icarus Uprising, here it is right here. This is Kid Icarus for the 3DS. This is a great game. I don't have the stand near me, but I also have the little 3DS stand that came with, that you set your 3DS up on. It makes it easier to play. Anyways, Kid Icarus Uprising is another cool 3DS game. It also came, I'll go ahead and show you guys, it came with these little AR cards, that can pop up out of the screen. It came with 6 of them. And from what I understand, there are different AR cards every time you get a different game. So I guess, if someone else could have one, they would have 6 different ones. Anyways, the ones I have are Mick, Pit, Potalina, Dark Pit, Dark Lord Galuf, and Tiger Claws. And those are the 6 that I got, and I'm sure, and if someone else got it, they would get 6 different ones. Or they might get my 6 same ones. It's all random. It also came with a cool collector's case. You can see here. It's a cool display item. This next one is a 64 game. I like to be retro sometimes, and it is. And that is by the name of Perfect Dark. I have not played it, so I don't know too much about it. I know it's kind of a first-person shooter game, very bloody, graphic, with some horror vibes to it. Anyways, science fiction kind of thing. That should be pretty cool, though. I have not played it yet, so I don't really know what to expect. As you can see, only $2. Next up is an Xbox 360 game by the name of Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell Conviction. This is the most recent Splinter Cell game released in 09 or 010, I believe. And my favorite Splinter Cell game will probably always be Splinter Cell. Chaos Theory, I thought that it really, the first two Splinter Cell games were decent, but Chaos Theory, I really felt that everything met the graphics, the storyline, everything. Excuse me. Talking too fast. So, like I said, I thought everything met. Of course, the gameplay being the most important thing. I really felt that it all met in Chaos Theory. And then Double Agent came out, and that was decent. And now we have a Splinter Cell Conviction, and this is probably the most, I would say, action-packed oriented of all the Splinter Cell games to have come out in the past 10 years or so. This is probably the most action-packed version. And that's one of the downfalls of the game itself, is that it's too action-oriented, and it strays away from the classic Splinter Cell gameplay that, fans like me love. Especially the last level gets really action-oriented. But besides that, it's a really fun game. It's, really cool, sneaky game mechanics. And besides the whole action-oriented factor of it, there's a level where they try to make you go full-on third person. And that's where the game kind of devalues a little bit, and it kind of loses its quality. And the last level was decent. I thought it was a tad, I beat the game very quickly, so the storyline's a tad short. I think they were trying to do too much. And there's a new Splinter Cell, from what I understand, come out next year called Splinter Cell Blacklist. So look forward to that in 2013. Another 360 game, a platinum hit, is by the name of Mortal Kombat vs. DC Universe. This is a very fun game. It has a lot of classic Mortal Kombat characters, and then all the classic DC characters, like Joker versus Sub-Zero, or Scorpion versus Superman or Batman. You got all kinds of characters. Flash, Green Lantern, all kinds of characters are in this game, so it's really a worth pickup. It's not as graphic as the previous Mortal Kombat games or the most recent Mortal Kombat 9 or the remake of Mortal Kombat games. It's rated teen, so it's not as graphic, but it is still fairly bloody, and I would say that it is one of my favorites out of the Mortal Kombat genre of games. And my next is a PlayStation 2 game by the name of Jak X Combat Racing. This is a very fun game. It picks up after. It's not really, storyline-wise, it's not really coherent with, the trilogy of the Jak games, but, it kind of picks up after Jak 3, because Jak 3, a vast amount of that was racing. Well, that kind of, of a spin-off of that where you race a lot. It's kind of, the whole vigilante thing where you have guns on your vehicle and you blow cars up. Very fun, very fun. Next is another platinum hit off the Xbox 360, and that is the Game of the Year edition of Left 4 Dead. There is now, in case you're wondering, there's a Left 4 Dead 3 is actually in the works, in production as we speak. So be looking forward to that probably in the next few years. Anyways, this is the Game of the Year. Includes the survival pack content with more maps, more levels, more gameplay online, etc., etc. Really fun game. I've already beat it, but as you know, there are several modes in the game, and I've only beat one or two of the actual gameplay modes in the game. So very fun game. Lots of replay value in Left 4 Dead. Zombie game, if you don't know. Next is a remake of an old PlayStation game, I believe. And that is Nintendo GameCube's remake of Resident Evil. This is the 2-disc edition. And what they did was it's the exact same game, the same gameplay mechanics, the controls are all the same, except you use the GameCube controller to play. I play it on my Wii. Anyways, it's, like I said, 2-disc. And, they ramped it up with better HD graphics, so it can look better on our newer TVs. Anyways, Resident Evil, just a great survival horror game. And those are all the video games that I picked up in the past month or so, the month of October. And now I'm going to talk to you guys about the VHS tapes that I picked up. As you guys know, the format may be dead, but I still like to pick up tapes when I can. So my first one is a Disney film, a classic that we all know and love, and that's a film by the name of Toy Story. I'm not going to talk too much about it because we know what Toy Story is. Anyways, clamshell edition. Very cool. Next is the fully restored 45th limited anniversary edition of Walt Disney's Peter Pan. And we all know Peter Pan 2, so once again, I'm not going to talk about it. One of the many reasons I like this, though, this case, I like the gold trim around it. Of course, Peter Pan's a great film, you know. Once again, clamshell case. Next up is Alfred Hitchcock's, I haven't seen this, so I can't comment too much, and that is The Birds. I have what I believe it was first shot in color. I have the reamped or first shot in black and white. My mistake. It was first shot in black and white, and I have the reamped version in color. You know, I'm assuming that because of the screenshot that's in color on the back of the movie. Anyways, I'm not too for sure what it's about. Killer birds, I guess. I haven't seen it, so I don't know what to expect. Anyways, of course, we all know Hitchcock for his Hitchcock Presents and Psycho. And the new Hitchcock film is a documentary of coming out about the behind the scenes about the Psycho movie documentary by the name of Hitchcock, and we have Anthony Hopkins playing as Hitchcock, so that's interesting. Next up is a Mel Brooks film by the name of Young Frankenstein, another VHS tape I picked up. It's a spoof of the classic Frankenstein movie with Gene Wilder. You know, looking as ridiculous as heck there on the front cover. Anyways, you know, I've seen parts of it. You know, they did reamp this up in color, but I have the original black and white version. A fun movie. I've only seen an hour of it, but, you know, it's just from what I've seen, very funny. It's a cool spoof. Next is another VHS tape by the name of The Mangler. This is a Stephen King adapted movie, adapted from one of the short story and novels. Starring Robert Englund, you know, from Nightmare on Elm Street, and then the director of Poltergeist and Texas Chainsaw Massacre by the name of Tobe Hooper. And if you can see that screenshot there on the back, that is Robert Englund. I'm guessing he plays the villain. I haven't seen it. This next one is another Stephen King adaptation of one of his short stories. I think it's a short story, maybe a full-on book, by the name of Shawshank Redemption. A great movie. I loved this one. He has two prison books, you know, Shawshank Redemption and The Green Mile. And I think I prefer, The Green Mile a tad more. I'm not really for sure though. They're both cool films. I think I prefer The Green Mile just a tad more though. Next is a movie by the name of course, Men in Black, starring Tommy Lee Jones and Will Smith. We all know Men in Black, so I'm not going to talk too much about it. Another VHS tape, I have not seen this, is by the name of Fight Club, directed by David Fincher. You know who did he did Zodiac, Curious Case of Benjamin Button, Seven, Fight Club. He's done a lot of stuff. Anyways, starring Brad Pitt and Edward Norton. I haven't seen this, so I'm not going to comment too much. I know the basic premise of it, though. And I'm pretty sure I know the twist ending, just because it's kind of hard not to. And the last VHS tape that I picked up in the month of October for 2012 is a horror musical comedy that I have not seen. Made in 1981. This is the original edition by the name of The Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. I have not seen this, so I don't know too much. I know it's pretty much, you know, a camp classic, as they call it here on the back. Art Week, H.J. Weeks says, surely Attack of the Killer Tomatoes has to be some kind of camp classic. I know it's really campy, ridiculous, over the top, but it's meant to be. And it's in one of those real old cases where you have to literally do this number just to get it out. Anyways, that is Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. Horror musical comedy. And those are all the VHS tapes that I picked up. And I'll be ending part 4. And now in part 5, coming up soon, we will have all the comics and books and graphic novels that I picked up for the month of October in 2012. Anyway, stay tuned.